Welcome to the Big Change the Film interview series. My name is Jason Cohen. I personally have lost over 120 pounds, and my goal is to talk to inspiring individuals weekly who've also lost significant amounts of weight, share their stories, and try and pass along some of that inspiration to others. Including today's guest and myself, the total pounds lost is now up to 9,724 pounds. This week's guest is Marilyn Plaskiewicz from Connecticut. She told me that growing up she was chubby and that her family always encouraged her to eat. She struggled with her weight for most of her life and told me that aches and pains prevented her from living a good life. One day she decided that she was worth it. She decided to put herself first, and she's since lost 140 pounds. One thing that Marilyn said that stuck with me that I've actually been saying to others is this: being overweight is hard, being healthy is hard, choose your hard. We have a great conversation and I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching. I'm here with Marilyn Plaskiewicz, and we got connected through Richard Hubbard, and she's lost 140 pounds. And so first off, Marilyn, thanks for taking the time to chat, and maybe we could just start off with a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Sure. Well, I was born and brought up here in Torrington, Connecticut. I'll be 63 in December, and I've had various jobs, always customer service-oriented jobs. I had my own business for about 9 years. I did advertising and marketing and videography, and now that has brought me to a place that I guess where I'm supposed to be, but not ever thought I would be, which is working in the medical field at visiting nurse services. But I am in-house and I'm a scheduler, so I sit all day on a computer. But I love my job. It's 2 miles from my house, and I work with wonderful people.
Awesome. So, you know, you've lost 140 pounds. I know, you know, you're a runner now, you're active, but take me back. You know, obviously you weighed an extra 140 pounds. So what did life look like for you growing up?
Well, I was always chubby. And coming from a 100% Italian family, they wanted you to eat. And if you wanted pasta for breakfast, that's what they gave you. So it was good. And back then, my parents both worked. There was 4 of us, 4 children, and we had to cook and clean and take care of the house while our parents worked. And being healthy to them was eating well, and I did. And it wasn't until I got married, which was in 1976, that I started at a place called Gloria Stevens, which is like all women, and I was their star pupil, and I had lost a lot of weight. But in addition to that, I've lost and gained weight numerous times, more than I'd like to even think about. And it wasn't until this recent journey, which is going to be ongoing, that I finally lost the weight and kept it off. And that's where I am today. I finally took the weight off and kept it off.
And throughout the years, you know, I know it's a common theme for a lot of people, that kind of, as they say, yo-yo of, you know, up, down, dieting, lose weight, gain weight. What do you know, was the food aspect just kind of a continuation of what you talked about, you know, growing up, or what looking back really contributed to your weight gain when you know, kind of think about it?
A lot of it was not being educated in the fact, or realizing that I've accepted that I'm never going to be skinny. That's not what I'm going for. I wanted to be healthy, and I want to be able to move, and I want to be able to move into my 80s and not be a burden to anyone. But food, yes, food. Everybody loves food, and it's in all of your entertainment and recreational activities revolved around food. I try to change that now when I get together with friends and stuff. It doesn't always have to revolve around food, but that was the basis of it, and I just would get discouraged because I'd get to the plateau and not lose anymore, not realizing that, okay, that's okay for a while, but then you just eat. But when I ate, then I said, okay, tomorrow I will get back on track. And then it's like, nah, I'm going to a party, so I'll wait till the next day. And then it's Wednesday, and you're like, screw it, I'm just going to wait till Monday. And then Monday comes, and there's another reason, and then before you know it, all the weight comes back. Every person has that, not every person, but so many of us who have weight issues, that happens. It's the yo-yo, up and down, up and down. And I remember when I did pay, I could probably have bought a house for the money I've spent on personal trainers. But unfortunately, the personal trainers that I had, they were good, yes. But when I got to that plateau, instead of encouraging me to just keep going, they got discouraged. So of course I got discouraged. I'd quit, and then I'd start eating again. So it wasn't until, in 2009, I joined the YMCA. I was too embarrassed to do anything but swim. But it was in 2011 when something clicked in my head. And now when people ask what happened, that now you've done it and you've kept it off, it's I finally realized that I'm worth it. I can put myself first and it's okay. And, I've been married for over 40 years, just me and my husband and, whatever dog we had at the time. We've had 3 dogs in our marriage. And that was our child. But I realized that I was worth it and I should take care of myself so I could live a long and healthy life.
That's beautiful. Kind of to go back a little bit, did you have any, frustrations or struggles that your weight limited you to earlier in life?
Well, it was embarrassing because you didn't fit in all the movie theater seats. When you went to a restaurant, you asked for a table instead of a booth. You had to get the extension on the airplane for the seat belt. Things like that were very frustrating. And running, running to get food maybe, but running was never in my persona at all. And it just kind of happened. Then I had started power walking, and then I thought, I feel a little bit, but before, I could never do that before. I had back aches, I had knee aches, I had aches and pains that prevented me from living a good life, and my quality of life was going downhill. So having to get rid of the seatbelt extender and being able to sit in a theater seat and being able to sit in a booth, those are small little non-scale victories that have really impacted me a lot.
And then medically speaking, I know that, for you it wasn't until you were a little bit later in life. I know oftentimes some of those things kind of do have a tendency to develop. Medically, did you have anything going on that...
I was pretty blessed in that I did not. I did have a knee replacement, but that arthritis, and thin people also will have arthritis. But I have to say that I was truly blessed without any high blood pressure or diabetes or high cholesterol even. And my mom passed away. She was 83, and she was extremely heavy. And she, too, never had those kind of health issues in her life. She lived a full life and passed away of a kidney disease. And, she had COPD as she got older, but that's common in older people. So it wasn't that I've heard of people who do lose the weight and they can get off medications and stuff. I was blessed with being healthy, but not being able to recreationally do what I wanted to do, go for a walk, go for a hike, or do anything, go to Disney World and walk around without having to sit every 10 minutes.
Yeah. And so did you have, in 2009, 2011, did you have something that happened that kind of caused you to really take it seriously and believe in yourself and believe that you're worth it? Or like what led up to that point for you?
Well, I was reading, of course, every January there's all the newspaper articles and things about, your resolutions. It's always weight or stop smoking or something like that. But I was looking at the weight issues and how this year is going to be, your year. And I was reading, and I discovered a story. It was called Kim Benson's Weight Loss. And they were located in Shelton, which is about 40 minutes from here. And I was reading a story about the Kim, who is the owner of that, and how she had taken off over 200 pounds, had kept it off. And she had this weight loss clinic, I guess I call it. So I called that day, and I talked to a wonderful woman named Penny, who we're still friends. And this weight loss thing was $15 a month. It was one meeting a week online. So it was affordable, it was convenient. So any members of this weight loss center would all be in this chat room kind of thing, and Kim would be live and do a meeting. It was very, very motivational. All women there, a couple of men, just like me, who just needed that extra push. So Penny and I would talk every week, and I started writing down my foods and using my Fitness Pal, and I still use it every day. And I went down to visit them a couple of times, and I was like their featured speaker. They called me the diva because I'm a singer, and I sang, and I it was telling my story even at that point as I was losing the weight was motivating other people. So it makes you feel good inside that you can tell your story to people who are in it for the same thing, who are struggling like you are, and realize that there's hope. That there was hope for us. If I could do it, anybody could do it. And then as I started losing weight, I got a little bit more active. And the running, I ran a half marathon, and I still can't believe that comes out of my mouth that I did it. that I actually did it. But Kim Benson was instrumental. But reading that story, I like I said, in talking with Penny, I said, maybe it's time for me. I can put everything else aside and just worry about me. And it's not like anyone prevented me from doing that. You have to have it in your head. You have to know that if you don't start today, what's going to happen a year from now?
That's a great story. In the everyday kind of practical, whether it's movement or eating, what changes did you start making early on, in those first days and weeks, going forward, and maybe how did that differ than what you had done before?
The biggest thing is preparation. I didn't really have a lot of junk food in the house. I love sweets, yes, but I love food. I would eat, the portions would be way too much. So I cleaned out the kitchen, if there was things that shouldn't be there. I stopped baking as much as I was, and I planned on Saturday and Sunday. I planned my meals. I prepped them. I got them ready, and that's huge. If you fail to plan, plan to fail, that kind of thing. And one of the phrases that I learned was, being healthy is hard. Being overweight is hard. Choose your hard. That's embedded in my head, and it's so true. It's so true. So either way, I was like, all right, if I plan this, I know what I'm going to be eating. I'm going to put it in my Fitness Pal, and I want to stick to that. But the important thing is that I stuck to it, and I did it. And people would be jealous at work because I'd be bringing in, like, I'd marinate chicken breasts, and I'd get a sweet baked potato ready, and I'd cook it in the toaster oven. And they're like, "Oh, Mary, you should cook for all of us," because they're all eating junk, or a sandwich, or and salads are good too, but you have to be careful. You can get a salad that's got 1,000 calories in it if you're not careful. But planning my eating, planning what I was going to do, and sticking to it.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme with a lot of people, and also seems to be the first thing out the window. At least I know for me, whenever I'm, if I'm like kind of slipping a little bit, it's probably because on Sunday I didn't plan, or I wasn't home on Sunday, or I just went to something quick. Was there a pivotal moment for you this time that you realized something was different? You'd obviously been, it was kind of familiar territory in some ways, but you also said that you learned to take the time for yourself, realize you were worth it, believe in yourself. Was there a point at which you realized, like, hey, this is different than before, things are happening differently, I'm approaching this differently?
Hard to say. It just kind of happened. I was very proud of myself for sticking to it. Why? I don't know. Besides the fact, plus I also, you remove the negative from your life, the negative people, and those that aren't supporting you in this journey, you remove, because they're going to get the ones that are jealous, and ones that should, like in family members. I love my sisters, but one of my sisters is very heavy, but she didn't want to hear about anything that I was doing to help myself, because then it would reflect that maybe I'm telling her to do it. But that's not the case. I was just trying to share. But without getting into my whole life thing, I'm a very sensitive person. When I give 100%. And when you grow up with not ever being good enough in your mother's eyes, kind of thing, you don't think that you have the worth to be something better or to do something better. I had a struggling relationship with my mom. She loved me, but she didn't like me, it seemed. And my dad passed away years before my mom did, and I was very close to my dad. And so I had to remove all the junk that my mom put there and get it away. So whenever I was eating healthy and doing that, it's like, I know my mother would probably be like, back in the 70s when I lost weight, she'd be to me like, she'd say like, "Oh, I suppose you can't come see me today because you're going to exercise," that kind of thing. So I removed all that. And again, just saying that, damn it, I'm worth it. I'm a good person. And I want to take care of myself so I can be there for other people, for my husband who's put up with me for 40 years. I said, if I were you, I'd have left me a long time ago. but he's, and just seeing how much happier I was, and how I could also working with the nurses at Visiting Nurse. They were just so happy for me. I had such a support group around me. I'm like, wow, I really am something special. So I'm going to stick to this because I want to be there. I want to be happy, and I am happy. I'm in a place now that I never thought I would be.
That's awesome.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Never thought I'd be here, but I am. I still have more weight to lose. Yeah, but that's okay. I will. And I'm also not going to, and I did it by always eating healthy. I never did any shakes or fad diets. I mean, I have a protein shake now and then, but I didn't do any of I don't want to name names, but all those other things. And people call me, and it's all over Facebook, and I just kind of unfollow that because it's like I don't want that thrown in my face every day. I choose not to go that route. I choose just to eat healthy, cook healthy, and be healthy. That's what I want to do.
So I know that you mentioned, kind of eliminating some of those negatives in your life, whether it was people or social media or family, whatever it might be. What did you do to kind of fill some of those gaps and those void and start putting some positive things in place?
I did things for myself. I would, again, like going out walking. When I discovered that I liked to run, I would just power walk because I was getting to the point where I could do more than just swim. And then I did start spinning, which I love. And when I was where I live, there's a lot of hills, but I would kind of power walk. And then when I got into the flat, I felt a little bit more energy. I'm like, I think I'm going to try to see if I can, go a little bit faster. Well, before I knew it, I was jogging. And I knew the mile route in my neighborhood, but I would always stop at the mile at my house and rest. So the first time I was able to run 3 miles without stopping, I cried. And the song "Run for the Roses" was playing, and I know that's for horse racing, but to me it was like "Run for the Roses," and that was my theme when I did my first Litchfield Hills Road Race, which is a huge road race up in Litchfield. And again, I used to videotape that when I was in the video business, and I'd be in the pace car videotaping and thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I'm never ever. This is ridiculous." And there I was, running 7 miles that day. And that led me to want to train. I trained professionally. I had a professional trainer when I did my half marathon because I wanted to do it smart.
That's great. To go back for a second, I know you mentioned it, but you said that you were, the first time that you joined the YMCA, you did it to be able to get in the pool because you didn't want to be seen at the gym.
Exactly.
Now you've completed a half marathon. Take me back to, what was it about going to the gym that, scared you? And then maybe you can even talk about what led up to you finally deciding to join the YMCA and actually, kind of taking that, not to be corny, but plunge.
Yeah. I knew I was in between jobs and at my heaviest too. You saw the before and after kind of thing. And I'm like, I need to, I'm afraid I'm going to die. I want to be healthy. I want to do something. So I was afraid to go to the gym simply for the fact of being heavy and being made fun of or pointed at, or because that's what, all during school. When I was growing up, I was always fat, and chubby kids in school, you're doomed. You get all those horrible names and are, made fun of and laughed at. And I wasn't ready to go to a gym and put on gym clothes that are appropriate for a heavy person to wear to do that. So I said, in the pool, I can put my bathing suit on. I can wear my cover up until I get to the edge of the pool, drop it and jump in real quick kind of thing and swim. So that's what I did. And then I met other people that were doing spinning and such. And when I started in 2011, when I finally started to lose the weight, then I decided to start spinning. But the simple fact of being embarrassed to go into the gym, because I said, if I can't just swim all the time, but has to be a start for me. But the simple fact of being made fun of, that's the reason why I wouldn't go to a gym.
What about this journey has surprised you? Or, I know you mentioned the half marathon, but, sitting here today, looking back on your life, looking back on your journey, what has surprised you, or what has happened that you simply thought would never be possible?
To say that I've actually ran a half marathon. to say that I've actually lost 140 pounds and kept it off, to say that I've actually inspired people to take care of themselves. Those are big, big, big things. And the support that I have, I get goosebumps thinking about the support that I have from so many wonderful people is heartwarming to me, because the people that I surround myself with are sincere and honest, and truly are happy with me in this journey that I've been on. Because the first time I went out, my husband and I went to a gala at the Warner Theater, which is this Art Deco theater in Torrington. And I was always very, very active with the theater as a volunteer or whatever, on stage, off stage, and such. Well, we attended this event, and I forgot that I hadn't seen these people in probably, over a year and a half. And oh my Lord, it was amazing, because people for the first time saw me thinner and were just so happy for me. And I felt proud. I wasn't embarrassed. I was proud. I'm like, all that hard work paid off. And it was inspirational too, to keep going and such. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, that's great. Where are you at? It sounded like before, from what you said, maybe self-confidence, self-worth, were a little bit of an issue. Where are you at now mentally? And, maybe I know some people call it self-talk, but, where are you at now compared to where you were, pre-2011, pre-2009?
I'm a better person. I'm stronger, mentally and physically. I go to a gym 3 days, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. I was there 2 hours this morning. I'm right there with the other gym rats, as we call them. I've been complimented on my outfits. I'm heavy, so you dress the part kind of thing. But I invest in clothing that's for plus size women, that's appropriate for the gym. And it's nice to have, not the guys, but the girls will, if there's a woman there and they'll, like, wow, you're working really hard. Good for you. And by the way, you have the best outfits, So I would never have gone to a gym. It took me a while, even at this current gym, to go to the I call it the grown-up side, and where all the big gym rats are and such. But it's like, if I want something, if I need this, I'm just going to walk over there and get it, kind of thing. It's like, and nobody cares. It's just me putting that pressure on me, because there's, the people there could care less. When I want a 60-pound weight, I'm not afraid to ask the person, could you please grab that 60-pound for me? And they do. Nobody makes fun of you. They just do it. And I've had even, gentlemen come up to me and say, boy, you work really hard. Good for you. Keep it up. And that's inspirational as well. But I just go there, put my headphones on, put my funky music, and I'm in another world. And that's what I do. And then I spin on the other days. And some days I just decide I don't want to do it today, and I'll just go home.
That's great. I know you talked a little bit about your husband, and you guys have been married 4 years. How has your relationship, with each other changed throughout this process? What's he think about all this?
He's overwhelmed with joy for me. I mean, he has put up with this up and down for 40 years. But to be able to see me happy and content, and I think even when you're married that long, you get it's like we've never been closer, I guess, in a way. We've never had problems. I mean, other than regular, marital people, fight and stuff. But he's retired now, and he's content. We have a nice house. We have our dog. We have our yard. And we do a lot more together than we had been, because we couldn't, we'll go for like Sunday's family day kind of thing, and we'll take Callie and we'll go up to the walking trail up in New Hartford or Collinsville, and then we'll have breakfast because we can sit outside, have Callie be there, and just enjoy each other, because he knows that I can do all this without limping, without like can't breathe, and it's great. He's very, very happy for me and very proud of me, and he tells me that, which is great. And when I buy new clothes and stuff, he doesn't even ask questions anymore.
That's great.
Is that something new? I'm like, no, I won it at a raffle at work.
So what, I know that it sounds like you've already kind of surprised yourself. Where do you see yourself going forward, whether it's with goals, physical activity? What are your hopes for the future, and maybe, hopes that you thought previously wouldn't have been possible?
Well, I intend to stay as active as I am. I don't know. Running right now, I'm having a problem with my other knee, so I know my limits. So I haven't been running in a while. I'm hoping that'll get stronger, or if I end up with a knee replacement in my left knee, I can be back running again as like I was before. But in the meantime, there's other things that I can do. My future is going to be, I'm going to be at the gym 5 to 6 times a week, and that's the way it is. When we're going on vacation in a couple of weeks, and I already looked into a gym up there associated with the hotel, so I can go, even if it's just twice. I want to be able to do something, because swimming isn't like you can swim in the outdoor or indoor pool, and I'll do exercises in the pool, which are fun. But I'm still going to want to do a heavy workout. So I've never done that before. Looking into, like, you're on vacation, you're looking into where you're going to work out, or I'll bring a mat and a couple of sets of weights, keep them in the car, and then just go on the beach and work out. I don't care. I'll do it because I want to do it. But I want to continue to be, I don't ever want to be immobile. I want to be able to move and just continue to take care of myself and be healthy. That's the thing. And I've thrown the scale away, by the way. The scale means crap. Scale, ladies, throw away the scale. Doesn't matter. I lost 11 inches in 8 weeks, and the pounds didn't move. So really, the scale is not your friend.
Yeah, it is a tricky one for sure.
Absolutely.
What would you say to somebody who's at the beginning of this journey, who's, ready to make a change, or they've maybe had that yo-yo and they are hearing your story and want to try and make that turnaround? What would you say as advice to them today?
Do it. Just do it, because, again, eating healthy is hard. Being heavy is hard. Choose your hard. Either one is difficult. Just do it, because by taking care of yourself, it's just self-rewarding. You're worth it, whether you think you're not. You are, and you have to always remember, especially mothers. I see how mothers always put children first. It's okay to put yourself first. And maybe you're saying that because I've never had children. However, everybody needs time for themselves. Everybody. So you have to niche out a part of that day for you and do it, because you're worth it. If I could do it, anybody can. 5-10 years ago, I would have never, ever thought that I'd be in the position that I am now. I thought I was doomed just to be fat and ugly, and that's it. But I have proved to myself that I can overcome all of that and be somebody and continue with all the wonderful things in my life, but just doing them with a better confidence and knowing that I'm doing it healthy.
That's great. And then if you could go back in time and have, a conversation with yourself whenever you were 140 pounds more than you are now, when you're at your highest weight, whenever you had a different mindset, what would you say to that person?
Why'd you wait so long? What took you so long? That's what I think I would say. Yeah, what took you so long? And you could do this, just didn't know it.
Yeah, that's great. And then, lastly, where's the best place for people to connect with you and find out what you have going on?
My Facebook page is fine, Marilyn Plaskiewicz. You can do that, and I have no problem if someone wants to, message me, and I'd love to talk with them or chat with them, whatever. But if I could help, like I said, just helping one person is heartwarming, and I want to give back to what everyone has done for me. Be able to give back and help someone else who thinks they can't do it, but they really can.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, Marilyn, congratulations on everything you've achieved, on all your physical accomplishments, as well as everything else in life. And I look forward to keeping up with you and hearing more what you have going on. And keep giving those youngsters with the 60-pound weights a run for their money, both in exercise and looks at the gym.
Absolutely. The 60 pound I just used for squats. I couldn't do anything else with it, but I do a damn good squat with it. Jason, thank you for inviting me to do this, and I think Richard as well for his faith in me. We met at the Y, and he's phenomenal. He's totally phenomenal. I don't think I could ever do what he does and become not only a healthy, but he's a vegan, a true vegan with a plant-based diet. I gotta have pizza.
Well, you gotta choose your hard, right?
Yeah. So if I want pizza, I'm just gonna work out heavier the next day. That's all.
Well, again, great chatting with you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate everything and everything that you're doing too. Thanks.
Thank you very much. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.